Hey guys and girls, and as you can see, Reggie and I are here. What?
I said shush.
Just wait a second. As you can see, Reggie and I are here in my backyard. We are going to show you some instructional stuff of what we've done last term.
Stuff?
So
stuff?
if you're watching this and you're new to this, this will all be new to you, of course.
Duh.
But if you were with me last term and it got rudely interrupted by the COVID thing, if you were with me last term, then you'll recognize a lot of the stuff, and this will be a recap for you and a reminder of what we did. So check it out. It's good for everybody.
Shh.
What?
Hey, dummy. Let the adults speak. Shh.
Shh. You shush. Okay.
Dummy.
Whatever. Just talk.
Thanks for that, dum-dum. What the dummy was trying to say is we are going to cover and break down most of the techniques Dummy taught last BJJ term. It's going to be funny to watch this tub of lard teach. He hasn't done any training in like 2 months.
You done?
We should be sponsored by a potato chip brand, because that's all Fatty's eating. Ain't that right, Tubby? Now, I'm done. Dummy. Dummy.
Okay.
Dummy.
Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Today we're going to talk about hand positioning and hip and leg positioning and side control. Please forgive some of my postures and my positioning here. It's been, as Reggie said, a couple months since I've done anything, and I did it all in one take. What we're looking at here is position number 1, both hands over. Now, if we look at this, freeze. Okay, most people keep their butts up like that, which is totally wrong. You don't have control. So I drop my knee next to the hip, blocking the opponent from moving, and my other leg is out. Okay, I'm at about a slight 45 degree angle on the body. I'm not straight across. I tuck my elbow in there, and I drop my hips down onto the ground, my groin down right into the ground, and I put some pressure on there. This is the second position here. Make sure my hand is blocking the hip, and then I'm going into the third position. This is my favorite. This is actually a hold down. The rest are mainly transitions positions, so that's a good hold down. And then I go over here, and that is the fourth position. A wrist blocking the opponent's hip, your shoulder pressing against the chin, and hips down.
This is not a drill.
Number 3 is probably my favorite position for holding down a much larger opponent. You're essentially locking them in place. You slide your one arm closest to the hips underneath their forearm, and then the other arm slides underneath the neck and grabs a monkey grip. Then you're going to drop your hips down, groin right into the ground or floor, and that knee is going to check that hip. Okay? And as you can see, I'm sliding at a slightly 45 degree angle, not straight across the body, and I'm sitting on the closest side to me of the body. You don't want to sit over top, otherwise they can roll you. And I'm driving that shoulder nice and deep over their face. I'm basically trying to touch my shoulder to my hand. This is the part that people usually don't quite get. They always try to drive forward. As you can see, I'm just going to drop that shoulder down and right into my hand. This really makes it uncomfortable. If you control the head, control the body. And what that usually does, if it wasn't a dummy, is he turns that face away as it drives into the chin. And then I'm going to put my ear against the person's arm. Didn't quite do it there. To hold that arm down and control that body. There are a lot of submissions that you could advance to from here, but if this was a street fight or it was a tournament where you want to score points, you'd probably want to go for mount. This is a mount technique where you basically grab your toe, you block up the head so they can't see what you're doing, and then you grapevine the legs and start out. And if you need to, you can start raining down elbows or punches, and make sure those hips are driving down deep. We'll talk about that on another instructional. Okay, I'm just going to quickly fix Reggie's legs, clean the grass off, and then on these mats that are sinking into the grass, which is hard to move with, I'm going to transition into a Kimura. We're going to cover this at a later date, but just to show you that you move your hands into different positions, maintain control, pop up for that Kimura, and you have a submission if you stay nice and tight. And back to my favorite side control position, I'm going to show you some more transitions to the mount. Alright, so I'm going to shift my hips, just like that, hold up that leg, tap that leg and step over. It messes up with your timing and makes it easier for you to mount. Now secondly, you've seen this one already, that's the one where you grab the toe, driving those hips down all the time. Make sure you're like an anaconda in there. In this last one, I'm driving that knee across, keep that knee nice and tight. I should have done another take of this, but you bring it in, drive those hips down, and give a thumbs up to your buddies. Let's take a look at a modified scarf hold from this control position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit up to the side, pull that elbow in nice and tight to my body, and drive through with my hips. Let's take a look at it a little bit slower. Now, you want to make sure you're anchored to something on them every time you move. As you can see, I'm really tight to my opponent, and my upper body, when I do the hip transition, that doesn't look so awesome. When I do the hip transition, I'm going to be tight to the upper body. I'm grabbing that shoulder and I'm kicking my way through there. The elbow's pulled really tight. I'm holding onto that shoulder and I'm driving the hips in. The modified scarf hold is superior to the traditional scarf hold position because the other one is frankly quite easy to escape once you know the escape. We'll take a look at that on another day. Let's take a look at the modified scarf and a transition into Kimura. So what I'm doing is driving that arm across the person's body, bringing that arm around to check that hip, make sure I'm in control the whole time.
This is not a drill.
I'm always staying tight to the person's upper body, controlling that head. Then I'm going to pop up, control, bring it out in case they're grabbing their t-shirt, and drive and submit. If they're still grabbing, you can't release. What you can do is you can just transition to an armbar, maybe get a little tighter than that. That was a little sloppy. Old man Jiu-Jitsu. And armbar. Hey, thanks for watching. Dummy and I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can watch more Jim is riveting, that's sarcasm, riveting instructional videos in the future. Bye. Dummy.